Hey guys, welcome back. This is Module 5 of Discover New Victories, and we're going to talk about physical activity and the benefits of movement and how our body is designed and created to be active. Let's get started with a word of prayer. Our Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together in the fellowship and to learn about you, Lord. Over this journey the past 5 weeks, we're learning about changing our lives and changing our mindset and just changing the way we do things to bring honor and glory to you, Lord. Be with us as we talk about physical activity and the benefits of it, Lord, and ask that you'll bless each representative here in this room and also those who are watching at home, Lord, that we continue to love you and to learn more about you and also how to take care of ourselves so we could be a better soldier for you, an example for others. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, physical activity. What? You know what? People think this is one of my most favorite modules. It kind of is, because I'm one of those kids who like to be physically active over the time. And my years of exercise physiologist over the years and being in the health and fitness for almost 30 years, this is kind of my core foundational message. So I hope you enjoy it. But here's the thing about being physically active. We all know how to do it. It's just somewhere along the line, we forgot how to do it or the motivation to do it. So I got a question for you. So if I told you tomorrow you have to meet me at the airport at 4 a.m., we're going to go on an all-expense trip to Europe. Plus, I'm going to give you $5,000 in spending. How many of you would show up at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning? No, flights are 4 o'clock. So that means you have to be at the airport, what? At 2. And some of y'all will say, I won't even sleep. I'll pack and I'll sleep on the plane. So I'll make sure I go on that trip. So I'm gonna ask you another question. What happens if I told you tomorrow I'm starting a new boot camp, but it's gonna be at 6:30 in the morning? How many would show up? Yeah, you see? Probably not the same amount. And you probably say, oh, not me, I'm sleeping in, I can't do that. It's not that you can't wake up. You can. It's just that you don't want to. We have to have a new mindset and understanding that being physically active is something that is not about just about me or about, or about trying to get into a dress size and so forth. It's all about how to take care of our temple. Think of it as temple maintenance. All right, let's get started and learn about why it's important, how our body responds to physical activity. All right, physical activity module 5. Physical activity. Regular physical activity throughout life is important for maintaining a healthy body, enhancing physiological well-being, and preventing premature deaths. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are, ready for this? You are created to move. What? That's right, you are. You are the complete opposite of a battery. Oh, come on, Cassie, you're killing me. That's right, complete opposite of a battery. The more you use a battery, what happens? It dies. Well, guess what? The more you sit, the more you die. So if we're trying to be individuals who live long, we want to enjoy time with our children, and we want to maybe have time with our grandchildren one day, we have to put things in priority. And one of the things you have to put in and understand is that we need to move. And our body functions well when we are moving. All right, regular physical activity increase muscle and bone strength, and increase lean muscle and helps prevent body fat. It aids in weight control and is a key part of weight loss efforts. Enhance physiological well-being and may even reduce the risk of developing depression. And said it appears to reduce the symptoms of depression and anxiety and improve the mood. Studies shown right now, so people who actually are physically active, who have been medically and clinically diagnosed with depression, the more active they are, they have better results of controlling that depression than actually taking medication. Now, go figure that. Your body, once again, is created to move. You create all these good endorphins, and it helps give you more clarity of mind. You get oxygen going to your brain. And guess what, people? You feel good. Just endorphin run. If you don't believe me, go run outside. I'll wait 5 minutes. You go for a sprint. I guarantee you come back, you'll be feeling a little better. But now, don't leave now, because I want to finish my segments, but we'll let you come on later, okay? Okay, the other thing, walking is the best form of physical activity. What do you mean by that, Cass? You're walking. I heard about sprinting. I heard about jump rope. I heard about basketball. But you see, walking is the best because guess what? You know how to do it. You've been doing it since you were 9 months years old. You have a lot of experience in walking. And it doesn't matter what your skill level, if you're capable of walking, walking allows you to have a good baseline to start with. And that's the most important part. And you can just increase from there. But the benefit of walking is that your body's always in contact with the ground. So it reduces the risk of injuries. No matter what your age or your coordination, walking is something you've been doing for a long time, and walking is something that you can have success. Now, study shows that if you want to do a minimum of physical activity, you might have heard that I need to do 30 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day. That's all I need to do is walking. Well, yes, that is true. That is for the bare necessities of living. However, we want to shoot beyond that because we want to change our body composition. We want to improve our cardiovascular condition. So just that 20 minutes a day, especially for someone who's a diabetic, is just the basics. But we have to do more than that because our results that we want and deserve requires us to spend a little bit more time or more intensity. Let's go learn about different types of exercise. We're going to start with aerobic training. Aerobic training is any continuous rhythmic motion involve any muscle group where your body utilizes oxygen. Okay, so this is mostly a large muscle group. So like an example of aerobics would be considered to be walking, swimming, cycling, group exercise, running, water aerobics, pole walking, whatever you want to call it, and household chores. You said household chores? Yes, I did say household chores. Can you imagine when you're sweeping and actually do it continuously and you're sweeping and moving through? That could be an aerobic exercise for you. It's just really how you apply the opportunity to seize the moment to make it an exercise. So what do you mean by oxygen? Well, think about this. You ever seen a sprinter? When a sprinter runs and he's crossing the finish line, he's breathing kind of heavy, and always put that reporter always sticks that mic in his phone. And it's not like he could talk. He's like, yeah, I gave him my best. You see, he doesn't have oxygen because he's running a state we call anaerobic. But the one who came from the marathon runner and he crosses the finish line, he's like, yeah, that was a good workout for me. I've been practicing and running real hard for a long time because he has oxygen. And the difference is when you're in an aerobic state, your body's utilizing oxygen for fuel, and that definitely gets great benefits for burning your body fat, but most important, it helps stimulate heart. Well, how does that happen? Well, the more active you are in exercise than you are in aerobic state, your left ventricle of your heart increases in size. So therefore, it's able to pump out more blood throughout your body and meet the demands of your body, and so your actual heart beats less. So which is a good thing, takes less stress on your heart. Helps improves and lowers your body fat. Well, as you're in aerobic state, your body burns and shifts your fuel source as when you're doing the exercise and aerobic exercises from body fat, from carbohydrates to predominantly body fat. And so you actually use that to help tighten yourself up and make it look prettier or feel better. Improves your cardiovascular condition. What that does is what we talked about, very similar to your overall heart function or overall heart condition, as well as the improvements with your left ventricle, but your whole system responds better. Lowers your blood pressure. Well, your heart's working stronger and it's beating through, and so it just cleans out and makes a better response to all of the anything that's clogging up your arteries. It does a better job of flowing the blood throughout your body. And it's the same with controlling your total cholesterol. It helps prevent several chronic diseases as you're doing your aerobic aerobic training. And it raises your metabolism. So check this out, people. As you're exercising, right now you're sitting down, your metabolic rate is at a very standard metabolic rate, basal metabolic rate, so resting state. As you become active and moving around in aerobic state, your metabolic rate elevates. So you're burning more calories during that particular time than you are when you're resting. So when you get done with your exercise bout, guess what happened? It goes right back down. But I'm going to share with you something that could keep your metabolism elevated for 24 hours and it'll make you a fat burning machine. Would you like to know that? Okay, we'll talk about that later. So here's something that you can learn about when you're exercising. So Cassie, you said something about 60 to 80% of my maximum heart rate. That's aerobic state. So if you don't have like a heart rate monitor or a device that could track to let you know how hard you're working, there's something you can call RPE, rate perceived exertion. This is a assessment and determination of how you are exercising during that activity. So imagine you are sitting down right now and it feels like a 6, okay? But you're running for your life and you're sprinting for your life, that's like a 20. So when you are outside exercising in aerobic state, such as you're walking, you're jogging, or you're riding your bike, you want to feel like an intensity or a range between a 12 and a 15. Now remember, a 20, you're running as fast as you can. And a 6, you're sitting down. So I want you to try and assess when you're doing this exercise, you want to be in a 12 and a 15 range. And that puts you in a good aerobic state. Now one more thing, it's called a talk test. It's not like the mirror test, it's called a talk test quite differently. So with the talk test, I almost messed up. With the talk test, it's basically, am I exercising in the right? Am I able to take in oxygen? So if, let's talk about that, a sprinter who's running across the finish line, he's trying to talk, he can't take in oxygen when he's running because he's working in an anaerobic state. But when you are working, when you're exercising, riding your bike, and you're jogging with a friend, you want to be slightly winded. As you're talking, you better say, so how's everything going? And I'm doing good. So what'd you do this weekend? And you're slightly winded. And that helps you identify that you are in a good pace, a good intensity that's going to improve and get all the benefits you want out of that aerobic exercise. Another form of training method is called interval training. And interval training is pretty cool. It's very hot right now. And you're hearing this HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. But let me just cover what the basic foundation of what an interval training is. It's basically when you're exercising at a higher intensity for a shorter period of time and you come into a lower phase. So imagine you're exercising for 30 minutes. You're gonna do a few minutes, 5 minutes warm up, and then you got about 25 minutes of active in your work phase. So what you would do is you would run for 1 minute or jog for 1 minute, and then you come down to a walk for 4 minutes. And that's it, and repeat that cycle 4 to 5 more times, and that would be your range, your exercise bout, and that's your interval training. There's a high phase, and there's a low phase. And the thing is, and the benefits of this is that you're able to work at a higher intensity without putting a stress to your knees, or to your ankles, and to your hips, or to your body, even your heart for a long duration of time. You're just hitting it up there, and you're coming back down. But the study shows you get huge success out of that. Even much better outcomes of burning more calories with that. And you can even do your exercise session in just 10-minute intervals. So if I decide I'm gonna do 10 minutes at a time, so I'm gonna do 30 minutes of aerobic training, but I'm gonna do 10 minutes. I'm gonna do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunchtime, and 10 minutes in the evening. And study shows that you get more bang for the buck than doing just 30 minutes straight in a day. So for people, there's no excuses there. I can do 10 minutes, that works. So, and the thing about burst training is the high intensity interval training. And it's a quick burst. So this is a method by Dr. Tabata came up with this concept. And it's basically this, for 4 minutes is equivalent to an hour of cardio. So if you work at a high intensity moving as hard as you can for only 20 seconds, you rest for 10 seconds and you go right back into high intensity again. And so you repeat that cycle, and before you know it, your 4 minutes is up and your heart rate's exploding through the roof, and you're totally changing your metabolic rate, but your outcome, you firm up quicker, you're burning that fat quicker. And that's it, 4 minutes. We could fit 4 minutes in our day. But the thing is being consistent with it and applying it. That's what makes a difference. All right, so resistance training, another form of our being physically active, resistance training is a huge key component. The benefits of resistance training, it firms and lifts the body. It increases bone density. It increases bone density and helps fight against osteoporosis and improves your posture. This happens because as you exercise and lifting resistance, using bands, using your body weight or so forth, moving against gravity, you cause your muscles to contract. And as your muscles contract and strain, they're pulling against the bone. And when it's doing that, it's creating very fine, minute hair fractures in your bone. And when your bone heals, your bone gets stronger. And so that's why it's so hugely important to apply resistant exercises, especially for those people who are about to get older or those who are older. Studies have shown that even if you're in your senior age and you start resistance training, your bone density can improve. And that reduces so many other issues. talking about, such as reducing your falls, prevention. And when you get a hip fracture or you fall and break your hip, the life expectancy diminishes very greatly. And so that's something we don't want to do. And that can be improved by just improving your leg strength. And increases your metabolism for 24 hours. Did you get that? Wait a minute, let me back up. So when you apply resistance training to your regimen, your regular regimen, your metabolic rate's elevated for 24 hours. What do you mean by that, Cass? Well, let me tell you. When you did your exercise, you did your walk-in, your aerobic exercise, your metabolic rate elevated for that period of time. And then when you got done with that exercise, it came right down to normal. But when you do a resistance training, stimulate your muscles and your body's metabolic rate stays elevated for 24 hours. Now, you're talking about being a machine. You're talking about if you eat consistently and your metabolic rate stays up there, guess what? You're going to have a calorie deficit. And that calorie deficit means you're not storing it as fat. And you have a potential of really changing your body composition. For 1 pound of muscle you put on your body has the ability to burn 7 to 8 pounds of fat per year. So for those people who are out there who just say, well, I'm trying to lose weight, but I walk every day and I run every day and I do all these group classes, you need to incorporate resistance training into your program, because that's a key component you're missing, because it allows your body to continue to burn when you're resting. And ladies, you do not have enough testosterone to get all manly and beefy. Even the ones you're seeing, you might see some genetic individuals who have that very higher level of testosterone or growth hormone in their bloodstream from a genetic. But an average woman, when you lift weights, you are not going to get bulky. You will feel I heard clients say to me, well, Castor, when I squat, when I do exercise, my skirt gets tight. Well, yeah, if you're not eating right and you're not losing the body fat and you're increasing your muscle, yeah, everything is going to increase, but the goal is to do everything together. Control how you eat, do aerobic, so you're losing, your body's transforming, you have a displacement of your fat, increasing of your muscle, and your shape is smaller, but yet you're firmer and stronger. And ladies, don't be afraid. You have to incorporate resistance training. It will help you the days when, you know what it's like to always have to ask somebody, hey, can you open this water bottle for me? Can you open this jar for me? That doesn't feel like a sense of having independence. Imagine having the ability to do it yourself, to carry your own groceries yourself. How wonderful that would feel if you have to depend on somebody. That's encouraging. So, a full body workout. This is an example of full body workout using just your exercise. And we're going to have an appendix video in our bonus section that will show you and take you to this workout that we have as a full body workout. It's doing push-ups, doing sit-ups or planks, squats, pull-ups or pull-downs. We're doing front side rear kicks, shoulder rolls, delt squeeze, dips, bicep curls, and heel raises. This is a full body workout you're going to have, but of course with our modules, with our whole entire program, you have your own individual workout to follow. But we're going to add this extra bonus in there for in case you're out and about and you need something quick to do. We're going to show you some exercise you can do no matter where you are, and traveling or staying at a grandparent's house or wherever, you'll be able to get something in without any exercises. So when you're doing a resistance training exercise, you want to shoot for between 2 to 3 days a week of conditioning your body. And you want to do a range between 2 to 3 sets, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps would be ideal. It's a good basic. But you don't have to worry about that. You're going to follow my workout program that I'm going to give you, and we're going to get you to the promised land. All right, so another key component of being physically active is stretching. Stretching is a huge main component, and it's one of the most overlooked component of being physically active. Everybody wants to run. Everybody wants to lift weights, but nobody wants to do what it takes to repair and help the body heal itself, and that is stretching. Unfortunately, we get so tight. We work out so hard and our body transforms and we get so tight. And guess what? We can't really move. We can't get function. A lot of times people who have lower back problems is because the glutes are too tight to sit all the time, or their hamstrings too tight. Imagine if you was able to spend time, just an equal amount of time, of helping your body to unwind. You'll still maintain your strength. You'll still be able to maintain your pump and still be able to maintain your firmness of your muscles, but your ligaments and your joints won't feel to suffer from the pressure of having been so much tightly pulled against from the muscles. So Stretching is a huge component for us to feel good and to recuperate and reduce injuries in our activity lifestyle. So you want to shoot for 3 to 5 days a week. You don't want to bounce. You want to be able to breathe through your stretches. And we're going to hold that stretch at least 30 seconds to longer. So realistically, this is a study shows that if you're able to hold your stretch beyond that 12, it takes about 12 seconds for your receptors inside of your body. For example, when I'm doing this stretch right here and I'm stretching my quadriceps, I have to hold it beyond 12 seconds. Because what happens is, when I'm beyond that 12 seconds, my muscles, receptors, are realize I'm not trying to do damage to my leg, and they relax. So I'm able to get the stretch. That's why you want to hold it for like 30 seconds or longer. Ideally, a minute would be great. That's why you see a lot of people who are doing yoga exercise, because they're in those poses for a longer period of time than that 8 seconds, 12 seconds. They're holding it. Now, there's also a form of stretch that you could do if you're getting ready before an exercise. You want to do it where it's more of a ballistic, more of a warm-up phase. But if you're able to hold those stretches like around 8 seconds, you're not affecting the receptors in your body and keep them ready to go. So here's the thing. Somebody always says, well, Cassius, should I stretch before I work out? And I'm like, well, think about it. If I'm doing it depends what type of stretch you're doing. If you're doing those whole long period of time stretch, guess what? You're relaxing the muscle. So why are you going to take a relaxed muscle and now you can say, now fire? That doesn't make any sense. So you want to be able to do a stretching method that allows your muscle to be prepared for that activity. And so when you are completely done, then go to the type of stretching that allows your body to relax and to recuperate from that activity. And that's what helps with prevention of injuries. Now, another thing that helps with prevention of injuries is also muscle balance. A lot of times, now here's the thing. When I lift my leg up and I extend my leg out back and forth, what prevents my foot from hitting me in my face is my hamstring muscles. My quadricep muscles extending it out, but my hamstring muscles got to slow it down. A lot of times when athlete gets injured, it could be from an imbalance of the muscles. One muscle group is stronger than the other, creating so much more force, the other one cannot stop it or control it, and there's a tear. So having a balanced body and working your body in a consistent method so you create an overall balance for your performance or in your sport or your activity, just being around the house, helps reduce injuries. So that's why it's so important that we were consistent with our resistance training, because it's not just about having muscles, it's about having a machine that can function well. So if you're going to get started with an exercise routine, exercise program, just to being active, here's some things you want to do to get started. We want to start slow. Instead of planning to run 3 times a week, 3 miles, 5 days a week, start with just a 30-minute walk. Bring it down. Bring your expectation down. If I'm a couch potato, how can I say I'm going to go to the gym 5 times next week? Why don't you just focus on going to the gym one day and have success with that? Remember, this program is called Discover New Victories. And you're able to discover the victory that, yes, I can incorporate one day. And no longer I'm sitting on the couch, I'm being active for that one day. And guess what? I could do it. I worked it into my schedule. I was able to go, and I felt good. Do you know what? Guess I promise you what's going to happen is you're going to try another day. You want to find another day which you could be this. And then before you know it, you're up to 3 days incorporated, and you find ways into your, what you call a so busy lifestyle, that you're able to do it. But if you were to plan ahead and say, I'm going to be in the gym 5 days a week, and you only got to the gym twice, you would have felt like a failure. And we don't need that. The world has thrown stuff at us all along, and we have went down that course before, and we did not have success. So let's be real. Let's bring it back down to a range that we can have success, and from there, we build upon that. See, make it fun. It's number 2. When you were a kid, what was the best part of the day? Recess. You broke your whole day up from morning recess, lunch recess, and it was time to go home. But what happened when we became an adult? What happened to recess? They took it, right? The they people took my recess. No, guys, listen, you must learn to discover and have fun. If you do not like to run, don't run. Don't try and be like your neighbor. If this isn't something you enjoy doing, you're not going to do it. You might be able to persevere through it, but it's not something you want to establish. We want to make changes to our lifestyle. So being physically active is a huge component of a healthy lifestyle, so you want to do things you enjoy. I bought my son a Dance 2017 Dance, whatever, I don't know what it's called, a video thing, and he's up there having a good old time with it. And guess what? He is moving for 1 whole hour straight. Now, can your kid move around for 1 whole hour straight, or are you moving for 1 hour straight? You need to find tools out there that will help you, but also you gotta find things you enjoy doing, or else you could be stuck in that same old rut. Find a buddy to help you to have fun with, someone who can hold you accountable. It's easier to have fun playing and exercise with somebody else than doing it by yourself. So it passes time. And if you don't believe me, get on a treadmill and talk to somebody. Before you know it, you'll walk 30 minutes on that treadmill, compared to walking the treadmill by yourself. Having somebody there helps if time goes by and you're not even aware of what you're doing. So you can get a lot of success at having a buddy working out with you. And with that buddy, it really does make it fun. And guess what? They'll hold you accountable, because when you don't show up at the gym, you're getting that phone call, and nobody wants to get that phone call. Make it convenient. Plan to walk early in the morning, during your lunch, or in the evening. You want to have a convenient time that works for you. Find times that you can incorporate into your schedule that's not an ease. Make sure if you're gonna have a gym membership, have a gym that's near your house or on the way to work. You wanna make it so it's something that you're not a burden, so you could keep doing it for a long period of time. One good thing you could do is you get out of the office, have your bag and your gym clothes in your trunk. Because I promise you, if you get home, you are not gonna win, because that couch is gonna call you, the kids are gonna call you, the dishes are gonna call you, and all you're gonna say is, man, what happened? I didn't exercise today. Another thing you could do is maybe start your day off exercising. You know, study shows those people who are very successful, they exercise first thing in the morning. It gets the brain going, gets the heart going, and guess what? You got it out of the way. That 20, 30 minutes of extra sleeping could actually pay off and give you more success throughout the day by getting up earlier and knocking out your workout. Another good thing you could do is keep a journal and track your progress. Keep a record of your activity to help you understand exactly where you started from, and you can help you to see how much success you have already. You can start off your journal and say, I was only able to do 10 push-ups and 25 jumping jacks and 26 sit-ups. And now, wow, I'm doing so much more. Does that not sound like victory? It does. A lot of times if we're not paying attention to the success we're having, we overlook it and downplay ourselves. But no, by keeping a journal, we're able to track and show the progression we have made, but also to hold you accountable to yourself, to know you want to keep going to reach your goal. Now, one thing I like to say is about rewarding yourself. One cool thing you could do is when you reach your goal, reward yourself. You could say, you know what? There was this new pair of jeans I wanted to get, and I'm able to get into them now, so I'm gonna go out and get myself a pair of jeans. Or you could reward yourself with a new MP3 player, or, well, we don't have those anymore, a new player, a new phone. No, don't go buy yourself a new phone, you'll get in trouble. But reward yourself with something that you feel you deserve. And that's one way of shooting for it, because if you worked hard, a little simple reward for some people is worth it for them to keep themselves focused on. So here's one thing I like to say to people. Stop the excuses. Stop the excuses. We tell ourselves over and over, I just don't have the time. I just don't have the money. I just don't have the resources. I just don't like exercising. Well, people, it's not about you. It's about what your responsibility, temple maintenance. It's about your children. It's about being able to see your grandchildren one day. It's about being alive. So we're lying to ourselves and keep telling ourselves all these excuses why we can't be physically active, when it really comes down to a choice. We talked about that earlier when we talked about our special trip to Europe, and it's a choice. You didn't have a problem waking up. You guys don't have a problem waking up and catching an early flight because you're looking forward to what you have to go to. But you should apply that same intensity and same desire into waking up each day to say, I'm gonna do something good for myself. I'm gonna do something to take care of this body. And it'll make a different attitude, because it all starts in your head. How you think and how you motivate yourself is what keep you going and keep you focused on your goal. Now, just something I call give God 1 hour a day. It's like paying tithe. For those who pay tithe, we're asked to give 10%. We're trusting that we could survive and do more with our 90% than we could with our 100%. Well, imagine this. If you gave God and took care of your temple and you gave yourself 1 hour a day of physical activity, I promise you the 23 hours will be better. You'll be more productive, you'll get more done in your day, and I promise you, you will feel better. And it's not about, and that's just it. It's like tithing. It's what you're tithing to your health, and you're reinvesting into your health, and you're trusting, hey, I'm gonna do this not just for I wanna look good, I want to do this because I want to take care of what you're giving me. And that's a whole difference, because if I take care of what he's giving me, I'm able to have the vitality of life so I could do my purpose in life. And that's what it's really all about. So guys, we learned about aerobic training, we learned about resistance training, and we learned about the importance of stretching. Put it all together, we're learning to understand how it's important for us to survive and to live healthier. But the most important is we have to learn how to be active. Find excuses, find ways in your life to be active. Don't just sit on the bench and watch life run you by. Get involved, get engaged in your life, and find ways to move. You were created to move. Remember, you were loved and you give love. And action is the key for life. That's right, action. And movement is action. So go out there and play. And play. Play with your kids, play with yourself, play with your Lord, but play and have fun. Discover that resource again. And realize that being active is taking care of your body and taking care of your temple. And the rewards will be there. And guess what? And that's a new victory.